Hey team, here's how we poured our sidewalks and stair project in Diamond Valley, Alberta. So we're starting off with a fairly dry slump here. We're probably about a 110 or just over a 4-inch slump. We're using our 32 MPa Duramix, so it's got 5 to 8% air. And then I changed it to a high early strength mix, which is a 7-day cure and not a 28-day cure. I did this in exchange of adding calcium. I didn't want it to set too fast, but I did want it to cure fast because it's still kind of chilly out at night. So nailing the slump here is definitely key. We want it wet enough to flow, but not wet enough to overflow. So we had to just give it a light vibrate, and then we tapped those stair faces on the way up. I'm going to do another video just on the stairs for this one. I couldn't quite fit it all in. So now we work our way to the sidewalks, and we're shooting this off the truck, and it's chilly out, so we're keeping the slump fairly dry. We gave it a little bit of a drink. And now when we're working our way on sidewalks, we're floating off the concrete against the wall with our chalk line. And then we place the concrete, we tap the forms, and then we screed across those two heights to get our level. From there, we're smoothing it out with our bowl float, and we are sinking the aggregate and raising up the cream. So now we worked our way to the front step. Again, a light vibrate. And now we're placing this concrete. We're just floating around that perimeter edge to get the height that's pre-established with the chalk line. And then we're screeding off to the form height. Some call this striking off, but screeding is the correct term. And now we're sealing it up with our Cadillac slicker there. So now we're beginning to work at the stuff in the sun. There's our expansion, or our control joints, I should say. And I'm popping off this center stringer. That was there just for the pour, just so the pressure didn't bow out those stairs for the pour, and then we take it off so it's easier to finish. And now I'm floating off the stairs with my magnesium hand float. I'm checking the levels, and I'm giving it an edge on the front of each riser. Now we're back to our control joints, and we're putting 1-inch cuts in with our Cadillac laser beam. And this just helps control where the cracks go. So they're definitely mandatory unless you want to see cracks, but so now we're ready to start finishing, and priority 1 is in the sun. So we start by edging, re-edging, and troweling. This is our first time troweling and putting in our cuts. So those cuts I couldn't reach there, that diagonal cut and that cut, so we had to get on by hand and do those cuts manually without the pole tools. And sometimes you just end up with situations like that where you just can't get in there. So you got to wait till it hardens up enough to get on there. And we're brooming it by hand as well because we can't reach. We worked our way around the corner, and again, we're just a single trowel and brooming our way out. Those are some of the tools I used on the stairs. Thanks, team.